Hey, what's going on? You're watching Tape Mod, and today we are taking a look at this very interesting TKL I found on Amazon. It looked so cool, I had to pick it up. This is the AJAZZ AKC087. The first thing I noticed about this thing was it is an absolute tank. This thing is super heavy. It's packaged very nicely. Comes with two big thick sheets of foam that you could use inside another board. Probably not this one, and I'll show you why. Now I did already take this out of the packaging to have a look at it, but this would normally be wrapped in plastic. You get your owner's manual, and here is our board itself. So it's a TKL. We have 5-pin sockets with south-facing LEDs. We have clip-in stabilizers, and let me tell you, this thing is an absolute chonker. The reason this is so heavy is because it is 100% steel construction. It's got a very unique look. As you can see, it's kind of completely open, which I'm not real sure about. That could be dangerous if you spill a drink or something. I mean, probably not dangerous to you, but dangerous to the longevity and life of the keyboard. It's very interesting. It's a completely open shell design all the way around, all four sides. And to me, honestly, it reminds me of an old PlayStation, like a PlayStation 2. It just has that PS2 look about it. But yes, it's 100% steel and it is heavy. Now I ordered the black version, but I would say this is more of a sparkle charcoal. It's like a dark gray and it's sparkly. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that in the video. So it's kind of grayish because there's a bunch of silver shiny specks in it as well. It's a really cool keyboard. I really like the shape of it. It looks like it's going to be extremely thick, but the way that the base is built, it sets actually nice and low, so it's not super high. You might not want to use really tall profile keycaps with this if you don't like a tall keyboard, because that's going to raise the height of it even a little bit more. But the base angle that it comes in keeps the bottom pretty darn low, and I probably am going to use some pretty tall keycaps in it and see how it works. Yeah, let's tear this thing apart. I'm going to start by taking out all of these screws and getting the top two plates separated. We have this disassembled now. Here's our PCB. It has no flex cuts or anything. Again, it is 5-pin with south-facing LEDs. It is a hot swap. Here is our top plate, and you can see pretty clearly that these stabilizers are actually pretty well lubricated. It said it came with pre-lubricated stabilizers, and for once they've done a good job. I see lube inside the stems, and I see lube going around the edges of the actual stabilizer bar. Yeah, they actually did a really good job of lubing. Here's what it looks like from the top. I am not removing this because I see no reason to. That's just you could remove it if you want to, but there's really no reason to unless you're going to paint it or mod it or something along those lines. This is one of the coolest things. The bottom, you unscrew the electronics from it, and all the electronics are in the raised foot, which is also, I don't know if this is steel, this might be aluminum, but this is where our daughter board and our battery are, and our switching and our plug, of course. What a neat design. Just everything is tucked inside of there. The only thing I can say is I do wish that there were maybe some different plate options. It might be impossible with this construction, but like a PC plate would be really cool. I imagine you could do it with some brass standoffs or something like that. I do wish that there was a different option for a plate, just because it's going to be a very stiff typing experience. Now, even though this thing's completely hollow, I'm going to put some foam in it. I'm going to put switch pads on this, And I think I'm also going to put a layer of foam in this bottom cavity right here, and I'm going to use this really nice foam that they included in the box, and I think we're just going to cut that to fit in there, and that's going to be absolutely perfect. Okay, so what we've done is clean all the extra lube off from where the stabilizers are located, because there was some lube on the PCB. And now what I'm going to do is take these switch pads and apply them, which is, you know, not exactly the most fun thing to do on Earth, I can tell you that. I'm just going to show you how I would do one of these, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the rest off screen. So we'll do the space bar here. Basically, you just pull them off the plastic with your tweezers and align them and plop them down. They don't have to be absolutely perfect. You want to get them as close as you can, because then it makes it easier for your pins to go through. But that's it. And then just rinse and repeat 86 more times. Okay, we've got all our switch pads on, and I think what I'm going to do now is take the stabilizers out of the plate and mod them, clip the feet and such, check the lubrication on them. They, like I said, they look great, but I do want to make sure that they're up to the standards I like. We've got our stabilizers clipped and lubricated. They were lubricated. They weren't incredibly well lubricated, but I will say for any keyboard that I've bought, like off Amazon or anything like that before, that said pre-lubricated stabilizers, these were definitely the best I've seen. I also put some tiny strips of tape here just to tighten the stabilizers up. Now they are rock solid. Okay, so we're gonna do tape mod on this, and I'm gonna try using gaffer tape, which is something I use for photography. It's basically like duct tape that's less sticky, and it rips super cleanly. It's also very malleable, so I think it could be a really great thing for tape modding. I'm only gonna do one layer because it's also very thick, and I'm going to have foam underneath this, and I don't want to like bend up the PCB or anything like that. This actually works fantastically. That's so much better than painter's tape. Yeah, gaff tape is much more expensive, so if you decide to try this, you know, I guess beware of that. If you happen to have some, it's actually quite nice, just because it's so flexible. Since last we met, I lubricated and installed some JWK Black Linear V2 58.5 gram springs. I ended up taking the foam out that I had put in the bottom of this because it was just too thick. I will tell you, there's really no modding you're going to do to this keyboard other than lubricating your switches and stabilizers. You really can't add really much of any padding. I put switch pads on the PCB, but that's about as far as you're going to get, like a PE foam mod. I really do like the typing experience on this. It's very nice with the JWKs and the CSA profile keycaps I found. These are just Amazon keycaps, but I am absolutely in love with them. They have this nice rounded over spacebar that's super comfortable to type on. I like the look of them, and I love the feel. They're very large. So I've been practicing touch typing a ton lately. These make it so much easier for me to type. I'm not going to touch type for you guys yet because I'm not quite there. I'm only at about, 35, 40 words a minute. I'm getting better as the days go along, but I'm still going to type with my old school way to give you a sound test on this board. Before I do that, a couple final thoughts. This is a great little board if you like a stiff typing experience. If you're looking for some flex, this is not the keyboard for you. But if you enjoy a stiffer typing feel, you're gonna love this thing because it is all steel. It is so heavy. It's built like a brick. It's a good feel even though it's super stiff, and I'm not really into that. Would I recommend this keyboard? Sure. Like I said, if you enjoy a stiff typing feel, you're probably gonna love this thing. Let's hear this thing. Also, I left the number keys on this keyboard unlubed so I could show you the difference between the lubricated and unlubricated JWKs. We'll try just a single key. And then multiple. The feel of the JWKs doesn't change a lot when you lube them. However, the sound profile does get a bit lower, which I really like. They feel great. I'm absolutely in love with these switches. I think on my next keyboard I'm going to try out some tactile switches. Like I said, I've been practicing touch typing a lot, and I want to see if the tactile switches kind of help me along in that process. So we're going to try that out next time. But as far as linears go, the lighter weight JWK black linears feel amazing. I love them. This is a great little board, and I hope this company puts out some more stuff like this. It's really unique looking. It's extremely heavy and well built. It's a good typing experience. Even if you're not really into super stiff typing feel, it still feels pretty darn good. Check it out. Take it easy.